Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. And we gotta talk about James Harden, okay? This report to come out of Adrian Wojnarowski about James Harden is very, very weird. And I don't really know what to think of this. Like, I don't know if Philadelphia's putting it out or if James Harden's putting it out or what the deal is. I mean, we haven't gotten a denial out of James Harden yet, it seems. So, like, when I first heard this, my initial thought that came to my mind was like, this has got to be bullshit, right? Like, there's no way James Harden would want to go to, like, arguably the worst fucking team in the NBA again, right? And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, you know, James Harden has won a league MVP, he's a 10-time All-Star, 3-time scoring champion, he's won 6th Man of the Year, you know, like, he's had contracts worth over $200 million, like, I just think to myself, this is a guy who's been hopping around the fucking NBA like the fucking Easter Bunny. Like, first it was Houston, then he gave up on Houston, then he went to Brooklyn, gave up on Brooklyn, now he's in Philly, seems like he's given up on Philly, and honestly, like, I hate to say this, because James Harden was like for like you know, a 3 or 4 year period was like a generational fucking scorer in this league, okay? But like, if I'm on any other NBA team on the outside looking in at this, I'm like, I'm not going to give up too much to get James Harden on my squad. Sorry, just not doing it. You know, there's the, you know, the idea that he doesn't seem to give a fuck about winning. He quits on his teams. You know, it sounded like he wants to go to Houston. So it's like, even if Philadelphia wants to trade him, it's like he's tanking his fucking trade value. So, and if I'm a team that's like on the outside looking in and maybe I'm one piece away from either being competitive or being a championship contender, do I really want to sign this guy to my fucking roster? Like, if you're a team like the Miami Heat or like the Toronto Raptors, right, where you're like one guy, you're just one good guy away from being like a championship contender, right? Like one extra piece. You know, Miami would be a nice place for James Harden, I think, considering how bad Kyle Lowry's playing at the moment. And then you look at Toronto, who it feels like they've always just been one more star player away from being a contender. If I'm these teams and I'm looking at this, I'm like, well, fuck, why would I ever want this guy on my team? And even if James Harden were to go to Houston, right? Like, let's just say the stars align, and, you know, like, because he signed a 2-year extension with Philadelphia. First year was like a regular, you know, guaranteed contract year. Second year is a player option, right? And if he declines that player option, he can become an unrestricted free agent this offseason. And even if the stars aligned and he went to Houston, and they also got the number 1 overall pick in the draft with all the fucking draft capital they got from Brooklyn for him, like, even if the stars aligned and you got the number 1 pick, Victor Wembanyama, right? Like, let's say you got the number 1 overall pick and you got Wemby, right? I still don't think that team has enough to make a championship run. I'm sorry, I just don't. You're going to put 34-year-old James Harden out there with fucking Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, who are efficiency nightmares, and then you're going to put them next to a rookie fucking 7'4" guy who needs the ball in his hand to do shit, right? Like, I'm sorry, like, I understand why you might be excited about that, but, like, at the same time, I'm just like, that's not enough for you to win. Not against Boston, not against the Clippers, not against, you know, even the fucking Warriors. Like, I'm just like, not against the Nuggets, like, not against the Grizzlies, not against Phoenix. You know, like, I'm sorry, but that's not enough. And then, so that leads me to believe that James Harden just flat out does not care about winning. And made $200 million, has won pretty much every fucking award. He's an assist champion as well. Like, he's won a lot of awards. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Regardless of what you think of James Harden, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Okay, he's going in the fucking Hall one of these days. And I just think, like, this is a really, like, kind of bad thing to come out, because it, like, I don't know who put this out there. It feels to me like James Harden's camp put this out there, but, like, I don't think they realize how bad this makes James Harden look. Like, it makes him look like he just flat out does not give a shit about winning. And yeah, there are players in the NBA who don't, but I just think to myself, man, like, now, I know, can you imagine how, like, Joel Embiid must feel? You know, like we all knew from the start, like, okay, he gave up on Houston. He didn't like the vaccine thing with Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving, so he's like, oh, I'm getting out of here. Like, James Harden seems like one of those guys that's like, he when he sees smoke, he just assumes there's fire every fucking time and just runs. And not for nothing, man. Like, James Harden's got a reputation as a partier. He's one of those guys that, like, he himself has come out and said this, that, like, he would go to a game, stay up all night, going out to the club, go to strip clubs and shit like that, and then go to practice the next day. Then he would sleep for an hour or two, go play the fucking game, and do it all over again. And not, it kind of like makes me think like his work ethic is fucking terrible. The guy doesn't like to stay in shape. He doesn't like to fucking win. He is like, he runs as soon as shit goes wrong. Like, there's just so much stuff here to unpack that I'm kind of like, he's kind of a fucking basket case, if we're being honest, boys. And then the other part of me is kind of like, well, he went to Philadelphia, and, he used to be in Houston, and, rumor is he likes strip clubs, and Philadelphia a little bit about the up top game, where Houston's a little about that bass, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's what he's not liking. I don't know what the fuck Houston offers that Philadelphia can't, but I do know this: the basketball team in Philadelphia is significantly better than the basketball team in Houston. So if the reports are coming out that James Harden wants to go back to Houston, it's sounding almost like he enjoyed Houston more because he wants to be like either the center of attention and wants to be able to shoot the ball as much as he wants. Maybe he just likes Houston's culture better. I don't fucking know, but really weird report, man. I will say that. Really weird report. Like, I thought the Trae Young thing was a little fucking weird, but this just like came out of fucking left field and nobody saw this shit coming. So I don't know, man. I honestly, the person I feel bad for the most here is Joel Embiid. Because Joel Embiid is a great fucking player, but can't get a decent number 2 if his life fucking depended on it. It's like, okay, like Daryl Morey was hellbent. I mean, hellbent on getting James Harden to the 76ers. I mean, so hellbent that he went from asking for first round picks for Ben Simmons to giving up first round picks and Ben Simmons to get James Harden. And they signed James Harden to a 2-year deal, not even a long-term commitment, really. And after the second year of being there, year and a half of being there, he's kind of like already mentally checked the fuck out. So I don't know, man. You know what? I'm feeling bad for Embiid, man. I have a strange feeling here that by the trade deadline, somehow I feel like the only, surefire good teammate he's going to have is Tyrese Maxey. And for me, as a Tyrese Maxey fantasy owner, that's pretty fucking great. But at the end of the day, man, I just feel bad for Joel Embiid, because also it's not like James Harden is playing bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, yeah, he's only played 18 games for the Sixers this year, and he's started all 18 of those games, shooting 42% from the field, which isn't great. Okay, like it's on the low side, but he's shooting 37% from 3 and averaging 11 assists a game and basically 22 points a game, and he's shooting 87% from the free throw line. Granted, the turnovers are kind of a thing, basically 3.5 turnovers a game, but I look at this team and I'm just kind of like, there's no way that anybody I know or any of my friends, there's no way they would want to play on a worse team. And I just think to myself, even at 34 years old, maybe James Harden just thinks that Houston's going to roll out the fucking bag for him, and I just don't see that happening, I think he just really likes Houston. And even if that's the case, do you got to go to Houston? Why does it have to be Houston? You can't go to Dallas? You can't go to Dallas and play with Luka Doncic or some shit? Or go to fucking, all right, San Antonio doesn't have much to offer either. But, it's just the idea. It's why Houston? Why the Rockets of all places? And I don't know, man. Part of me just thinks he likes the limelight. Maybe down in Houston, he's considered a fucking god, and he's not getting that treatment in Philadelphia. Maybe it's the fans. I don't know. Maybe it's just the idea of free range to do whatever the fuck he wants on the basketball court and make millions of dollars doing it. I don't know what it is. Maybe he doesn't like Doc Rivers. Maybe he doesn't like Joel Embiid. I don't know what the fucking deal is, but This just makes James Harden look very bad in every aspect. It's because even if the 76ers are to try to trade him, what the fuck is the trade value gonna be? The guy quits on every team he's fucking been on, and on top of it, it's okay, he's 34 years old. There's no guarantee he's gonna want to play here. He's just tanking his fucking trade value. Then it's there's no guarantee he'll sign a contract extension there because he might walk in free agency. I mean, nobody's gonna want to trade for him. So I don't know, man. To me, it just seems like a whole bad all-around situation for not only 76ers, but James Harden as well, because it's like James Harden gets to retire as a guy who's never going to win a fucking ring. And but just by this mentality, like the idea that he's not like, all right, it's not working out in Philly, I'd like to go to Miami or Toronto or, just some place who has a chance to fucking win. He doesn't even want to do that. So I'm just like, all right, you know what? We're writing James Harden off. James Harden is officially, to me, a guy, I didn't think he was ever going to win a ring anyway, but it's just kind of like, he's a guy that it's like he could go to a Miami, he could go to a Toronto, and he would, get them a lot closer to being contenders. I think if he went to Miami specifically, they would be in the contender conversation again. And, the idea that, it's Houston, the team that's like, what, 9-23 right now or some crazy shit like that? I mean, I don't know, man. You know what? I don't know what goes through the minds of these NBA players, but I know if it were me and I was playing in the NBA and I didn't like my team anymore, I'd be like, these are the teams I want to go to. These are the teams that can win. These are the teams where, like, they're going to pay me. And, like, because honestly, like, not for nothing, man, but, like, I'm not one of those guys that's like, I need $200 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of those guys that's like, you know what? You're going to pay me X amount of millions of dollars a year to dribble a fucking basketball around and play on, a team that can actually fucking win? Yeah, sign me up. Okay? Like, I'm sorry, but I would rather have that situation than $200 million and play for, like, one of the shittiest organizations in basketball. So, I don't know, man. Take with that what you will, but anyway, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.